Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. If you are new to my Facebook page or to my YouTube channel, my name is Ginger Pierce. I am a master planner with Marvelous Mouse Travels, which is an earmarked platinum authorized Disney vacation planner. And there has been a lot of updates that have been released by Disney about various things over the past week. And so I just wanted to kind of come on and talk to you a little bit about those things. I'm joined tonight by my husband, Evan. Evan, welcome.
Hello.
And Evan is going to just kind of, chime in too with his thoughts about all of the updates that Disney has released because it has just been a really, really big news week on a number of fronts. And so, a lot of things that I'm really excited about and can't wait to kind of see be implemented in the parks and on the cruise line. So let's just start with our first piece of news, which is that many of Disney's stage shows that have not reopened since the parks reopened a year ago are now coming back, some fan favorites. So on August 1st, the Wonderful World of Animation projection show is going to be coming back to the Chinese Theater in Disney's Hollywood Studios. If you have never had the opportunity to check out one of Disney's projection shows, they are absolutely fantastic, and that is a great one. And so, it's nice to be able to see them utilize kind of their state of the art projection technology that they have, where they actually use their park icons as almost screens for this projection technology. They do that a lot with their fireworks shows as well. And if you have never gotten the chance to experience that, it really is something special. On August 8th, the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor is returning to Tomorrowland in the Magic Kingdom. This is an interactive show where you as the audience get to actually interact with and talk to and be responded to by these characters from Monsters Inc. And they are absolutely hysterical, just as hysterical as they are in the movies. And so that's a great way to kind of relax in the middle of a hot afternoon in Florida and kind of be in the AC for a little while, because it is an interior air conditioned theater. And so it's nice to have that be back in play as well. On August 15th, one of our family's personal favorites, which is Beauty and the Beast live on stage, is coming back. Evan, I'm sure you want to say something about this because I know you love that show.
I am a huge Beauty and the Beast fan. What is neat is that we actually had a magical moment one year around Christmas at the Beauty and the Beast live on stage show. For those of you who may not be familiar, a magical moment is when a cast member goes above and beyond to provide just a really special moment for you and your family. And we got there, and it was right the week before Christmas. We were with our cousins and my kids' cousins, my brother and sister-in-law. We were sitting up in the top right corner of the stadium, and about 5 minutes before the show started, cast member said, "Hey, you all come with me." And so we're like, "Okay." So thankfully we weren't getting kicked out or anything like that. But they took us right down to the front row, or not front, like, I don't know, maybe the second or third row up, just like on eye level, right in the front with the stage. It was a really neat, dead center, right in the middle. It was a really neat thing. So we have a lot of good memories about that one.
Yeah, I love that show. We try to catch that show when it's available every time we're in Hollywood Studios because, again, this one's not air conditioned, but you are under like a covering, and so it is a little bit cooler than out in just the middle of the sun, and it's just a nice place to take an afternoon break. And also on August 21st, another one of my personal favorites is Turtle Talk with Crush. Turtle Talk with Crush is in the Seas Pavilion at Epcot, and it's another interactive show. And just like he is in the Finding Nemo movies, Crush is absolutely hilarious. He does a great job interacting with the kids. The kids get the opportunity to ask him questions, and he will respond to them. And Disney just does a fantastic job of drawing the audience into that show. And so I'm excited to see that one come back too, because there's a lot to do at the Seas. The Seas, I hear people, we're actually doing sharing a live in one of our agency groups in a couple of weeks about why you shouldn't skip Epcot. And I hear a lot of people say all the time, like, oh, there's not much at Epcot for kids to do, or there's not much to see there. And one of our favorite parts of Epcot is the Seas Pavilion, because there are these incredible aquariums there. And we come, from a city that has a very large, very well-known aquarium, but we still love going to the seas and seeing the aquariums, and also now, getting to experience Turtle Talk with Crush again. So there's just a lot of things to be excited about with that. So I'm thrilled to see these stage shows come back. I'm thrilled to see these actors, go back to work, and also just to have more opportunities to take in more Disney magic in the park. So that is our first piece of news that we wanted to share. The second is very exciting as well. Disney Cruise Line is making their return to sailing starting next month. And so they are beginning with the Disney Dream out of US ports. They have been sailing out of international ports for a little bit of time, but they are now sailing out of US ports. And, they have just done a really, really good job of keeping so much open, and yet still making it safe for people to, experience a Disney cruise and the magic of a Disney cruise. And so, there are obviously some changes in policies and procedures. There's lots of things to consider about, if you have a cruise booked or if you're thinking about booking a cruise. There are definitely things that you want to make sure that you are aware of, that things that you're going to have to take, care of before you embark on your cruise, and just things to know beforehand. And so that's why, working with a travel advisor on something like this is so important, because you have someone to kind of walk you step by step through that process. But, after over a year of closure, I'm thrilled again for the cast members of Disney Cruise Line, just to see them back to work, to see all of the hard work that they have put into preparing, this experience for guests. And I can't wait to see that get started and to get people out, out to sea again. That's really exciting. So our third piece of news is a little bit bittersweet. Epcot Forever is kind of the temporary. It was meant to be a lot more temporary than it has turned out to be, but it was kind of the temporary placeholder fireworks show between the original, Epcot, not the original, but the most recent. And I can't, Evan, could you remember the name of the one that was there before Epcot Forever? I cannot remember the name of it. Yeah, neither one of us can.
It was
But
something with the nations. Illuminations. Yeah,
of
there we
course,
go.
yeah, Illuminations. And, Illuminations is the one that I remember from my childhood in Epcot. And so that one was retired, and Epcot Forever was supposed to kind of be this bridge temporary show between Illuminations and the new Harmonious. And Epcot Forever is a love song to Epcot. And so it pulls in some of the vintage elements of Epcot. And if you grew up going to that park and loving that park, it's a really, really fun kind of nostalgic fireworks show. But that one is going away on September 28th. And it is being replaced by the brand new Harmonious on October 1st, which just happens to be the 50th anniversary of Disney World. And that is also the opening date for Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, which is really, really exciting. So Evan, tell people, because you're not someone who's, working in the travel industry, tell people what you know about Harmonious and maybe what you're most excited about for Harmonious.
Well, I think the biggest thing that people know about Harmonious, even though it's not even happening yet, are the huge water features in the middle of the Seven Seas Lagoon? Is that the name of it?
No, it's World Showcase Lagoon. Seven Seas Lagoon is Magic Kingdom area.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense that it's World Showcase Lagoon. But I mean, those huge metal structures in the middle of that lake, that's what Harmonious is for. And so during the daytime, there's supposed to be water features. And then at night, during the show, there's going to be fireworks shooting off all over those things. So it'll be interesting to see how those impact that show and what they look like during the daytime.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a very state of the art, kind of cutting edge fireworks spectacular. I'm really, really excited to see it. Can't wait to see that one. I know not everybody loves because those features are going to be in World Showcase Lagoon. It looks like all the time, and so I know some people don't like that because they liked being able to see clear across the water to the different country pavilions. I know Evan falls in that category. He doesn't love, the fact that that view is blocked. But I think that once those water features are going, that it is actually going to be really pretty. And I definitely think that that fireworks show is going to be something special. So I'm very excited to take that in.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what those look like during the day for sure. And our buddy Nathan just chimed in his usual his comment for us. Thank you, Nathan. You are still cool too, man. We appreciate Nathan he's a regular on this with us, and we appreciate that. And that's always his comment. So, we appreciate you watching, Nathan.
And also with keeping in the theme of fireworks news, this one hits me in the heart. Happily Ever After, which is the fireworks show at Magic Kingdom, is ending on September 29th, and it is going to be replaced temporarily with a 50th anniversary fireworks show, but then it will be replaced, kind of indefinitely with a brand new show. And the reason why I say that one, kind of hurts my heart a little bit is because that is the first fireworks show at Magic Kingdom that Evan and I watched with our kids. And so it has a very special place in our hearts. I remember at the time our son was 5, our daughter was not even 2 yet. She was like 18 months old, just toddling around, and she was sitting up on Evan's shoulders, and I was holding our son, and the first big firework goes off, and our son goes, "Disney can do anything," and it was just it was magical. And so I love that show, and haven't gotten the chance to see it again in the parks because it just came back not too long ago, just on I believe July 1st, just earlier this month. So I have not gotten the chance to see it yet, and I wasn't planning a trip before the end of September, but I might have to plan one now because I feel like I need to see it in person just one more time.
This I agree. This one hurts. That what the moment Ginger just referenced. That was we're standing on Main Street, USA, and that was a special moment. I mean, like there's a little girl in front of us, and she was going, "Whoa!" like that, and then our son, Disney can do no, no, no. That's what it was. It was the kid in front of us who goes, "Disney can do anything," and our son said, "Let the magic begin." That's what it,
That's right.
that's what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let the magic begin.
the little girl in front of us, she's the one who said, "Disney can do anything," and then our son, who was just turned 5, he goes, "Let the magic begin." It was great. It was really good. Um, and one neat thing about what they are replacing it with the 50th anniversary is that they're supposed to be, there's projections on the castle, which are incredible. How in the world they do that, considering the contours of the castle, and they have that calibrated perfectly to project that to fit that. I mean, it's incredible. But they're taking it a step further now, and all the way down Main Street, there's going to be projections on the buildings on Main Street. And so, now everybody wants to be right up in the hub so that you can be right in front of the castle. But now, if you get farther back down Main Street, maybe, I don't even know, maybe all the way back to the Emporium, I don't know, but you're going to have a pretty cool view down there too, seeing because if you're up at the hub, you won't get to see the projections on Main Street. And so that's going to be really interesting. It gives the people in the back, back near like the Starbucks or, back in that area, something to see too. So that'll be cool to see how that works out.
Yeah, I agree because, if you want that coveted hub spot for the fireworks, I mean, you really do have to either book a fireworks dessert party, which hasn't come back yet, or you have to stake out that spot an hour plus in advance, to make sure that you get up there. And so I love the fact that they're kind of extending that down Main Street a little bit and giving, more people the opportunity to take in those projections. Because like I mentioned earlier, they really are awesome.
And I agree, Donna. Hey, Donna, how you doing, by the way? It's good to see you on here. I appreciate that. Donna said she loves the Disney fireworks. I do too.
Mhm.
Happily ever after is a special one,
It is.
and it's gonna be sad when it goes away. Like Ginger said, we had not planned on going back down there before September 29th, but
Yeah. Might have to
now
sneak down.
now we're like, but should we go down there?
Yep. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe. So our last piece of news, obviously, is the most recent because this just broke yesterday, about 24 hours ago, roughly, and it was the mask policy update. So Disney has been following the recommendation of health authorities, and prior to this, back in May, they relaxed their mask policy a little bit and made masks optional in indoor locations for people who were fully vaccinated. But now they are going back to requiring masks for everyone, everyone 2 and up, regardless of vaccination status, indoors. So still when you're outdoors walking around through the parks, you don't have to have a mask on. But when you are indoors, when you are on Disney transportation, or when you are in ride queues or on ride vehicles, you do have to have that mask on now, regardless of your vaccination status. Having gone to the parks 5 times since they reopened, 3 of those 5 times in full masks, where masks were required outdoors and indoors across the board, no matter what. Personally, I am not at all, put off by the idea of having to wear a mask indoors again. And that's just because, I live in an area where we had, a mask mandate up until just a couple months ago, where we had to wear masks everywhere we went. So I'm used to it. My children are used to it. And Evan, you made a really good point when we were talking about this earlier. Share it with everybody.
Really, the only people this actually impacts, and the only people that this would change things for, are fully vaccinated adults. Because if you are not fully vaccinated, or if you're under the age of 12, you don't have a chance to be vaccinated,
Mhm.
then technically
You
those
should have been wearing them anyway. Yeah,
right.
according to the policy. Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
Disney was pretty lenient on that. I mean, we can admit that when we were
Mhm.
there, and we saw bunch of kids, who didn't have them on, and
Mhm.
um, technically they should have, but
Mhm.
it's kind of difficult when mom and dad may not have a mask on, and you're like, no, Johnny, you got to put one.
Yeah, we wore ours in solidarity with our kids.
So
Oh, yeah.
but that really is. I mean, it sounds like a big thing, but it's actually only impacting fully vaccinated adults. Those are the only
Yeah.
people that it would change anything for.
Right. And again, too, one thing that we've learned throughout this whole process of reopening and closures and everything has been that it's always Disney's exact words are it's a fluid situation. And it is, just because masks are required indoors right now doesn't mean that that is going to remain the case for months and months. We have seen now Disney relax it a little bit in response to guidance. We've now seen them, bring some things back in response to guidance. So, it's not like, if you have a trip planned in January or February, like, oh man, I'm going to be in a mask. Like, we don't know, we don't know what's going to change between now and then. And so I think my advice, if you do have a trip on the horizon and you're wondering what to do with it, if that trip is a few months out, I would adopt the wait and see, method before I made a decision one way or the other, because I really, first of all, I agree, Evan, if you want to go ahead and pop that comment up there, because I could not agree with this comment more. Anytime you can get to Disney, it's well worth it. Mask or not, Disney is a place where dreams are made to come alive. And again, like I said, we've
Amen,
done it.
sister. That's
We've done
right.
it lots of
Amen.
times in masks, and so have our kids, and it has been magical every time. I was telling a colleague of mine this story earlier today. In December of 2019, when Evan was talking about our magical moment with Beauty and the Beast live on stage, I actually had an appointment for my then 4-year-old daughter to go to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. And, that Christmas trip was kind of a quicker trip. We had a longer trip planned in May of 2020. And I was like, you know what? We're going to cancel this Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. We'll just do it when we come back in May. Well, we all know what happened, in 2020. Obviously, that trip in May did not happen. And Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique is not back yet. And so now my daughter, who is about to turn 6, is kind of to the stage where she's kind of starting to get over the whole dressing up like a princess thing. And I could kick myself for not having let her do that in December of 2019, because you have the time that's right in front of you when it comes to the experiences that you have with your kids, and those special experiences that you have with your kids. And so I personally made the decision that I'm not going to wait to take my kids back to the parks, and stuff like that. Obviously, people have to do whatever they feel comfortable with, one way or the other, depending on their individual situation. But for me, I just decided like I was not going to wait until there weren't masks, or wait until I was going to take my kids right now, because again, I have the time that's right in front of me. And I kind of learned from that mistake that I made with Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, which I hope to see them bring back. And maybe I can still talk her into wanting to dress up like Cinderella. So, oh, I think I missed that comment of, can you put that? Yes. Yeah, I agree. You only have the time in front of you. So, but that's it in terms of our news break that we wanted to share with all of you. As always, we try to keep you updated, and so as relevant information is released from official sources, I will either go live with it or I'll post it on my Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram accounts. Ev, did you want to add something?
Nope.
Well, thank you so much, everybody, for watching us tonight. We really appreciate it. If you have questions, you can drop those in the comments even after we've gone live, and I'll be happy to come back and address those for you. But have a great night.
We had one come through just now. Donna said,
good.
Thanks for sharing. This is very cool. Thank you, Donna.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, that's really great. All right, everybody, have a great night. Thanks so much.